Hi there. So last week was very exciting because Google released its Gemma 2 2 billion parameter model. So again, Gemma 2 already contains suite of models which are 27 billion and 9 billion, but this 2 billion model is definitely pretty much very efficient in terms of running in a commodity hardware. There were other announcements also, for example, Shield Gemma, which is sort of classifier for content filtering, and Gemma Scope, a sort of tool to understand the explainability of the model. But definitely, this 2 billion model was talk of the town. And if you see some of the leaderboard scores, definitely it's worthwhile to check this out. Now, in this tutorial, what we are going to do is we are going to fine tune Gemma 2 for one specific use case. Again, I will just be covering mergers and acquisition, and post that we will see how does the results come by. So we'll just try to have Gemma 2, raw Gemma 2 in one of the problem statements. We will definitely will be we will be having some hurdles for sure. Then what we'll do is to overcome those hurdles, we'll be fine tuning it for our specific use case and we'll see the results. So let's get started. So this collab tutorial will be almost same like what I have done for Llama 3 8 billion model. So everything is almost the same. There are some minute differences. For example, I will be using T4. Since the 2 billion parameter model is pretty much light, you can use T4. Again, you can use it on your free uh, Collab subscription also. So this is the first part where we are going to explore the existing answers from the raw or the original Gemma 2 2 billion model. So here I'm just mounting my drive and post that. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to install unslot library. Again, we have in past seen unslot to be the most efficient and the easiest way to fine tune our model. So that's exactly what we are going to do. So I just installed everything which is related to unslot. And then what I did was I, invoked the model as well as tokenizer from, this specific path called unslot Gemma 2 2 billion 4-bit model. So rather than loading the raw model, what I have done is I have loaded it from, unslot's version, which is again 4-bit in nature. So that's exactly what we are doing. So using unslot, we are loading the model as well as the tokenizer, and these are like pretty much lighter. And then what I have done is this is standard alpaca format. And what happens is you give it three things, for example, instruction, input, and the response. And what we are trying to do is we, for example, will test some questions and answers on merger and acquisition domain. So we'll have instruction input built, and we would like to have a response as output. So what we did was we have one input and we have two instructions. So basically we'll have one instruction and input pair, then another instruction and input pair, and then we'll try to find out what the response is. So basically here is my input. So input is a new snippet and it's again from a merger acquisition domain. And within this new snippet, first of all, we wanted to find out what is the acquisition date. And second, we will see which company is the acquirer. So that's exactly what we are trying to do. So what we did was combining this input and instruction using this alpaca format. We form, one specific string and then we give it to the raw model. And then we got the answer. So we asked it like, what is the acquisition date? Answer precisely. And the answer that we got was the acquisition date is January 5th, 2022. So if you see this news article as such, HCL Technologies and so on, the acquisition was completed on January 5, 2022. So the answer it gave was the acquisition date is January 5, 2022. But what we were more interested was only specifying this answer. So rather than having, this prefix added, we just wanted to have this answer. So this is something which we would try to tackle in the fine tuning process. Again, The second question which we gave it to is again the same input, but the instruction is different. We ask it who is the acquirer. And to that, it answered pretty much precisely, which is HCL Technologies. And this time it didn't appended something extra either as prefix and suffix. So definitely we see that the answer here, for example, for the acquisition date is correct, but we want to fine tune it for our own use case and we want exact precise answer. So we'll do the fine tuning where we will give it some examples with the instruction input and the clear response. And the next time post fine tuning, if we will give it a news snippet, we expect it to give the exact response. So that we'll see in the next collab. So in this collab, we'll be fine-tuning the model, and we are using T4 because again, Gemma 2 2 billion is pretty much lighter with only 2 billion parameters, so it can be definitely used in T4. And what we are going to do is this step that we'll take is exactly what we did for Llama 3 uh, you know 8 billion model. And what we are going to do is we are going to install data sets first because we need to provide our own data set in specific format. So what we did was we mounted first, then we installed data sets library. Then what we are doing is we are preparing our own data set. So here we are providing instruction, input as well as output. So basically, we are trying to train the model. So we are providing it few examples here. In this case, 4 examples with instruction of acquisition date. So 2 examples with acquisition date, 2 examples with asking who is the acquirer. And we have as an input, all these news articles, and in the output we have the response which we wanted to get. So this is the training data, pretty much small, but worthwhile to go. And then what we are doing is we are again installing Unsloth. Post installing Unsloth, what we are doing is again, we are just setting some parameters like what could be the maximum sequence length while training, and so on. And do we have to load in 4-bit or not? So that's what we are going to do. Again, we are using the model, not the raw model from Google, but using the Unsloth's, 4-bit model using bits and bytes. So that exactly we are going to use. So we'll be loading the, model tokenizer from Unsloth itself. And then we are doing, we are finding some parameters for providing it for the PEFT model. So basically, while we are going to, fine tune using LoRa, we need all these parameters. Again, pretty much standard, exactly what we did for the Llama 3. And then we are doing nothing, but we are again finding the alpaca format. So basically, whatever input, instructions will give will form a alpaca format and we'll try to give this to training examples. So at the end, if you see, we have instruction, input, and output in our training data set. So these were the 3 keys. And using alpaca format, what is going to happen is we'll generate a new key, which is text, and which will combine this input, instruction, and output in the alpaca format. And this text is what is going to be fed to the model for training. And that's exactly what we are doing. So we are, forming a SFT trainer, and then the actual training starts here. So if you see here, we are training everything, and it's the loss is decreasing, step by step. So which means there is some training done. And post that, we are saving it at some place. So we are saving both the model and tokenizer at one place. And once we are done, we just wanted to see that what answer did we get from this fine-tuned model. So here are the answers. So if you see the first input is a news snippet, and what we asked is what is the acquisition date, and the answer that we got is January 05 22, which is the right answer. If you remember earlier, we got some prefix last time, which is the acquisition date is January 05 22 using the raw model. But with this fine-tuned model, we got the exact answer. This is what we needed. Now, similarly, we asked with this news article, like which company is the acquirer. And it again we got the right answer, which is HCL Technologies. So definitely it was worthwhile to fine tune, and the process was pretty much fast with Onslaught. And because the Gemma 2 model was pretty much lighter, we were able to do it, few minutes. So thanks team. Thanks for watching. Bye.